Live from the WMSB television studios at the College of Mount St. Vincent, this is Channel 8 News.
Go to your family's house for Thanksgiving dinner? Check. Relax for the rest of your vacation? Check. An absolutely crazy weekend in sports? Check, check, and check. Welcome to WMSB Sports Talk. Alongside James Wilkins, I'm Dan Federico, and let's jump right into this action-packed weekend, starting with the Patriots and Texans. James?
Now, coming off a huge comeback win last week against the AFC-leading Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots headed into Houston to battle the disappointing Texans. It's nice to see Gary Kubiak back on the sideline, and he was happy to see this Ben Tate touchdown, the third of the game for him. It was 31-31 at this point when Gronkowski gets the pass from Brady over the middle, scampers for a bit of yardage, and that's going to set up the game-winning kick from Stephen Gostkowski from 53 yards out. What a bomb. Now, the Patriots moved to 9-3 on the season, and it wasn't always pretty, but they got the win when it counted. Dan?
The Bengals look to stay ahead of the AFC North as they take on the Chargers. Here we go, Andy Dalton throws the ball across the middle to A.J. Green for the touchdown, giving the Bengals the lead 14-7. Let's fast forward to the fourth quarter as we see Andy Dalton throw it to none other than, again, A.J. Green, catching the 27-yard catch, finishing out the game. A.J. Green has 87 yards on 5 receptions and a touchdown, and the Bengals go on to win 17-10. James?
Now let's take a look at the San Francisco 49ers, who are home as they battled the St. Louis Rams, who always give them a good fight. The Niners fans were happy to see Michael Crabtree suited up and ready to go for this one after starting the season on the IR. And here's a great sight as he makes a catch down the sideline, breaks a tackle, does a little shimmy shake. He had 2 catches on the day. Nothing amazing, but he's back, so it's all good. Now let's flip ahead to the fourth quarter. We've got Colin Kaepernick, who's looking to put the game away. He rolls out to his right and finds Vernon Davis, who makes a little move, and then no, he didn't. Look at the big fella. He just hurtled right over the safety. Now to work on his jumper. The Niners take it easy, 23-13. Dan?
A game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens usually involves hard hits, flying helmets, and a pivotal play in the final minutes of the contest. The battle between AFC North rivals on Thanksgiving night had all of that, and so much more. A coach on the field and 2 touchdowns taken back from replay were among the highlights of the Ravens' 22-20 Turkey Day victory. The Ravens, now 6-6 and still in the playoff hunt, were lifted by none other than kicker Justin Tucker, who accounted for 15 points on converting 5 of 5 field goals. $120 million man Joe Flacco provided some help, throwing for 251 yards and a touchdown to Torrey Smith. On the other side of the ball, Ben Roethlisberger did all he could, completing 28 passes for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Le'Veon Bell rushed for 73 yards and added a score of his own. The controversial play of the game came when Jacoby Jones took the kickoff 73 yards to the Pittsburgh 27, which set up one of Tucker's field goals. However, on the return stood Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, close to the field of play, which seemed to cause Jones to slow up and subsequently get tackled. The Steelers could be looking at a 6-digit fine, plus losing a draft pick as punishment. James?
The upstart Carolina Panthers, who have just been tearing through their opponents in recent weeks, played host to the surging Tampa Bay Bucks yesterday with a chance to win their 8th game in a row. Here's Panthers head coach Ron Rivera looking on as Cam Newton takes a leap over the Bucks defensive line into the end zone. Check it out on slow-mo again. The man's a beast, ladies and gentlemen. He's happy. The Panthers are happy. They're now 9-3 and just a game back in the division lead of the Saints. Now, for one more interesting matchup, we go to Philadelphia as the Eagles hosted the Arizona Cardinals, who have been a bit of a surprise this season. You want to talk about surprising, though? Here's Nick Foles as he connects with the tight end Zach Ertz for the score. One of the duo's 2 scores on the day. Well, the second score from Foles to Ertz was a 24-yard pass that he fired over the middle of the field into the end zone. Ertz finished with a signature Gronkowski spike, and Foles praised the man above for the big touchdown score. Philly walked away with a 24-21 win, moved them to 7-5 on the season, and they are now keeping pace with the Cowboys for the East Division lead. What's going on that ice, Dan?
When John Tortorella was the Rangers head coach last season, he and player Chris Kreider never looked to be on the same page. In Tortorella's first return to the Garden on Saturday night, Kreider netted a hat trick, leading the way for New York's 5-2 victory over the Vancouver Canucks. Along with Kreider, the Blue Shirts received tallies from Rick Nash and Michael Del Zotto to help shove it in the old coach's face. In net again was Cam Talbot, whose shutout streak ended, but spectacular play continued as he saved 33 shots on 35 attempts. Talbot is now 6-1 on the season while only allowing 8 goals. The Rangers will look to carry the offensive prowess into tonight's game against the Winnipeg Jets. James?
Even with all the hype surrounding this year's Iron Bowl matchup, no one could have expected the roller coaster ride of a game that saw the Auburn Tigers crush their top rivals' three-peat chances with a gritty 34-28 win. While the intensity was there from the opening kickoff, it was really dialed up a few notches in the final quarter. The energy started to change after Alabama quarterback A.J. McCarron connected with top target Amari Cooper for a 99-yard touchdown score, which puts the #1 Tide ahead 28-21. Alabama then had a chance to kick a field goal at the Auburn 13, which would have put them firmly in the game's driver's seat. Instead, head coach Nick Saban opted against sending the field goal unit onto the field. The plan backfired on Saban and the Tide as Auburn made a stop and then scored to tie the game. After getting the ball back, Alabama sent out the kicking unit and freshman kicker Adam Griffith to try a 57-yard field goal with 1 tick remaining on the clock. Griffith's kick fell short of the goalpost and was caught by Auburn cornerback Chris Davis, who scampered out of the back of the end zone and navigated his way down the sideline to take it to the house for the game-ending score, a play the storied rivalry has never seen before. The game dropped Alabama out of the #1 spot in the BCS ranking and propelled Auburn into the SEC championship game as the conference's West Division representative. If they win there, they could head to the national championship, potentially. What do you got for the struggling Jets, Dan?
Although Geno Smith has struggled all month long, Dolphins quarterback Ryan Tannehill seemed quite all right, finding Mike Wallace as he evades D. Milner for the touchdown, as we see right here. As Milner gets chewed out on the sideline, the Jets went on to lose 23-3. Back to Smith, who on the day only completed 4 passes for 29 yards, was eventually replaced by backup Matt Sims. For the Dolphins, Tannehill had a solid game, throwing for 2 touchdowns on 28 passes and 331 yards. The win brings the Dolphins' record to 6-6, keeping them alive in the playoff race. Money can buy all things and wills others into existence, but in the NBA, it cannot buy chemistry. With an owner that's consumed with a win-now mindset, the Brooklyn Nets broke the bank this offseason by trading for Celtics mainstays Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce on top of dishing out max deals to Deron Williams, Brooke Lopez, and Joe Johnson. Although the new CBA instructs teams over the salary cap to pay luxury taxes, owner Mikhail Prokhorov is one who is willing to pay in exchange for a championship banner. While injuries have seemingly hurt Williams and Lopez, the same cannot be said for the former Celtics duo. Both Pierce and Garnett seem to lack the fire that brought them championships in Boston, while also showing their age with defining play. The situation, however, all falls on the shoulders of first-year head coach Jason Kidd, who seems lost as the leader of the team. The controversial decision to hire Kidd fresh off his NBA retirement seemed odd at first, and the dividends are not paying for the team. This isn't the start the team wanted, and it surely isn't the team they paid for. But it is what they have. And if things don't start coming around, all of the big moves the Nets made won't result in a championship banner the organization is hoping for. James?
After taking a few days off to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday and enjoy some turkey, it appears as though Robinson Cano and the New York Yankees are not much closer to saying that they're thankful for each other. After meeting just before the holiday break, reports broke that the all-star free agent had brought his asking price down a bit. Reports out now claim that the two sides are still about $80 million apart in terms of total salary. Cano's latest request was for a 9-year deal that would have gave him $28 million a season. The deal also included a vesting option for a 10th year that would give the second baseman $29 million. Doesn't look like the Yankees are going to be able to go for that. That's all for WMSV Sports Talk. For Dan Federico, I'm James Wilkins. Thanks for watching and enjoy your week.